Well, hey there, Debbie. Thanks for joining us.
Great to be here.
Glad to have you. So, you serve on the Grant Professional Association's Publications Committee, which encompasses a whole lot of things. Can you tell us what all the committee oversees for those who don't know?
Sure. We have three main publications. The first is the weekly grant newsletter, e-newsletter. So if you're not receiving it, you should go to our website and sign up so you get it and you stay abreast of everything that's going on. And that comes out every single week on Tuesdays. We also have the GPA Strategy Papers, and then we also have the GPA Journal. So the GPA Grant newsletter is a great opportunity for beginners or for people who've never been published before to dip their toe in the water and get some exposure. There's no specific topic you need to write on. It can be basically anything related to the grants field. I find that many people are still calling themselves grant writers, and so one of my roles as the editor of that newsletter is to go through and change everything to grant professionals.
Okay.
And then we have the grant strategy paper, so maybe you've gotten some experiences doing an article for the newsletter, and now you want to write a little bit more. So this is an opportunity to really encourage innovative thinking about a topic related to the grants profession. It does require 3 or more resources or scholarly references. So it's a little more in depth. And that let me back up. Call for the grant newsletter. We do it a year in advance. We get schedules. So every November, you'll have an opportunity to sign up. And it's sometimes hard to think of a topic right off the top of your head, so you can always use to be determined and think about it for a while.
Ask us how we know. Yes.
So get your date, and then at least you've got it reserved. We did change it this year. We are asking all blog posts to come in a month before they're published.
Yeah.
And that gives us time to get them edited, because before we were working, there was
Tight
no time
turnaround.
in there.
Yeah.
Right.
So last year we decided to make the change that there would be a month.
Smart.
And then that way, if somebody gets sick, somebody doesn't do it, we also have time to fix it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So the GPA strategy paper, watch the email as well, because that will have a call for strategy papers as well. So that one's a little more in depth. And then if you really want to take a big step into the publishing world, you can go for the GPA journal. And this is your opportunity to really address some innovative idea in the field and contribute research-based information, maybe a case study. It does require 3 to 5 scholarly references. So it's much more in depth. It's going to go through a lot of editing. There's a whole editing process, which can discourage people, but don't get discouraged. We're just trying to make you as good as you possibly can be.
Yeah.
And sometimes people get confused. What's the difference between a strategy paper and a journal article? Rule of thumb, the journal article is longer than a strategy paper.
Okay.
It's also more based on research. So it's more in depth, based on research, and it's really looking at innovative things that are happening in the field. So those are our 3 main publications.
That's great. Well, and do you have any encouragement for people who are maybe intimidated? Because I know I was never, I'd see those calls every January for strategy and journal articles, and I was like, nope, I'm not touching that. It's a peer-reviewed process. It seems scary.
Else.
Well, and I'm like, it's been a really long time since I've had to do hardcore research and citations, and college was a while ago. And so it really was one of my peers going, hey, I want to do this article with you, which I would encourage. It's a great way if you're scared to do it alone. is to having maybe do it.
Well,
with
you're
your
sharing- you're
first-
sharing
I think
the
you
work.
did your first one with a couple of other people.
I did.
Didn't you?
It was years
About
ago.
site
but yeah,
visits.
site visits.
Right?
And we did. It was at least 3 of us.
Yes.
And we just divided up the sections and
Yeah.
provided our own citations for our sections. And
Yeah.
I felt like for me, it was a lot easier to jump into it that way. Yeah.
And your committee, I think, does a great job of like reminding when things are due and walking you through the process. And
That's right.
you have a lot of people on that committee
We
doing
do
a lot
have
of
a
things.
lot of people on the committee, but
Yeah.
if you think about the peer review process, that takes a group of people.
Yeah.
There are 2 editors for the newsletter,
Okay.
so we sort of split up
Sure.
the articles as they come in.
Nice.
And then there's a whole team that's a peer review just for the strategy papers, and then a whole peer review team for the journal.
Nice.
So, and if you think about it, it's really important that we go through that process, because if we're contributing to the field,
Yeah.
it has to be top quality. It has to be good. So we need to do that.
Yeah. If someone wanted to join the publications committee, is there they just need to reach out to staff at GPA, or are you currently looking for new members? Is that a
Well, year before last, we were kind of really hurting for members. We have quite a few new members have joined,
nice?
but we do always look
Yeah.
for members, because you just never know, life changes and that sort of thing. I think it's January.
I think it is when all the committees get going
Yeah.
in January.
So January is the time, right?
That's right.
If you want to
That's
know
right.
about any of these things, people should
Yeah.
sign up for make sure they're receiving the newsletter.
That's right.
That it's not going to your spam folder or
That's
whatever.
right.
And that's the time if you're interested in really any of these, right? The blog post,
Well, the
strategy.
blog post is going to come out in
November.
the next few weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, November
Yeah.
if that comes out.
So
yeah.
if you're listening to this and you missed our episode and you're just getting back, it's okay. It's every November blog post, and then January for the longer strategy papers, and then the peer-reviewed journal.
Yeah.
So
And
those
I
are the
would
keys.
suggest, if you're listening to this later and you've missed the call for blog post for 2025, go ahead and reach out to Amy at the GPA office, because sometimes there's opportunities. Somebody decides they can't do it, somebody gets sick.
Life happens.
So go ahead and reach out, and she'll let you know if there's any opportunities available.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So, well, thanks for letting us know about the publications committee.
You are quite welcome. Thank you.